Real talk, the Metaphor Messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game, I think I found a solution. Got a crazy kind of flow, I need a verbal institution.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, coming at you live from Germany for a very special live edition of Wrestling Reportedly. And this isn't reported news as far as like reported news. This is actual friggin' reported news because WWE kind of shocks the UK wrestling world today. Because for a long time, most people, especially those in the UK, have known that some of the best independent promotions on the planet reside in the United Kingdom. The WWE over the last few years has kind of had a declining presence in the United Kingdom. So how do you capitalize on one of the strongest independent markets and at the same time try to revitalize your footprint within that said market? Boom! WWE United Kingdom Championship Tournament. That's how. That's how you do it. That's how you take care of everything in one felt swoop. Holy crap. I mean, look, some people are going to feel that this is overkill. Some people are going to feel like this doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not one of them. From a business standpoint, it makes all of the sense. Not just a little bit of sense, all of the sense. How's the title going to work? We're not sure yet. Is the title going to be defended on Raw, SmackDown? Will non-UK competitors get to compete for it? No idea. And honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's not a terrible idea to have maybe a monthly show that they show on the network for just UK-based performances. You have, maybe you even set something up, a UK arena or something that you do that is specific just to the UK. You know, you go to Blackpool or whatever, you go into a good-sized arena, probably where they're going to be doing this tournament, and then you do tapings. You do tapings once a month or whatever it takes, and you knock out some shows and you put it out on the network every month. I think it's a really smart idea. I think it's prudent. And it's a low cost, high, very, very high ceiling, low risk maneuver. And I think it makes a lot of sense on a lot of different levels. But let's get to the actual announcement. Let's go to what we actually 100% know for sure. And I'm going to go straight to the WWE website for this information. Here you go. This is via a press release because of a press conference at the O2 Arena in London. Triple H reveals that the WWE's first ever United Kingdom Championship will be rewarded this January. The UK Championship Tournament is a 16-competitor two-day throwdown at Blackpool's Empress Ballroom, airing live and exclusively on the award-winning WWE Network. Featuring some of the best talent the UK has to offer, more on that in a second, the last man standing at the end of the tournament will be crowned champion and awarded a title. Pretty damn interesting. And if that wasn't enough information for you, we get even more info. Triple H was not alone during this announcement. Finn Balor was there, as was legend and current NXT general manager William Regal, but also another person, Nigel McGuinness. Now, I think a lot of people, especially those of you in the UK, certainly know who Nigel McGuinness is. He's going to be calling the tournament on the WWE Network alongside Michael Cole. Good move. Really, really good move. Very, very good move. Tickets are on sale for the two-day event. Pretty cool stuff, man. It's going to take place on January 14th and 15th. I love that this is live. I like that it's different than the Cruiserweight Classic. I like that it's not a long, drawn-out, super stretched-out tournament. I like that. I think it's kind of cool that we're going to have a two-day situation where it's just going to be live. It's going to feel gritty. It's going to feel like almost like a Tough Man, an Iron Man competition where these guys are going to have to wrestle on back-to-back days, multiple matches, 16-man tournament. I think it's a really good idea. Now, look, you can certainly come at me from the angle of it's too many titles, and maybe you're right, but I'll tell you what, there's already a very successful global promotion, well, expanding global promotion, that has a million titles, and it doesn't affect anything negatively. You know what that is? New Japan Pro Wrestling. There's like 75 titles, and it doesn't matter. It's okay. It works, man, because titles do breed some competitiveness. But here's the thing. The talent depth has to be there. And New Japan certainly has that because there's no guaranteed, you can only work here. Everybody can kind of come and go as they please in some instances. There's all kinds of deals, talent allocation, all that good stuff. Just trading, there's just all kinds. People come and go in New Japan a little bit easier than they do in other places. Let's just say that. So if you can have the depth within the UK, which they do, if you guys are fans of the UK independent scene, you know how many great talented wrestlers there are there. This is something that's easily sustainable. And there's quite a few UK-based wrestlers in the WWE now that you can certainly tie in. Jesus, this is just a no-lose situation. Is it going to be like the European title? I don't think so. I think that the goal for this is probably a little bit different. I think it's a little bit more broader. I like the idea of giving a market that your popularity has waned in over the last few years a boost and a boon is a really good idea. And I think it's going to work out well. And I am excited about that. Let's talk about the competitors for a moment. And we are going to take your calls because I know there's people who want to call in and talk about this situation. So I'd like to hear from some of you guys. However, give me a second. This is the, quote, full list of names, although there's only 14 names. And the names are as follows: Sam Gradwell, Wolfgang, James Drake, Tucker, Joseph Connors, Tyson T-Bone, Roy Johnson, H.C. Dyer, Dan Maloney, Jack Stars, Tiger Ali, Ringo Ryan, Saxton Huxley, and Chris Tyler. Now, there are some names obviously absent from this list, but like I said, that's only 14 names. Zack Sabre Jr. is not on this list, and you would have thought after the CWC and the reaction that he got that he would certainly be on that list. He's not. Also, I think that some people were expecting Finn Balor to be back and ready, and the fact that he was on stage, maybe there is some kind of a chance of him being in the tournament as well. Maybe he finds his way into it if he's able to. I'm sure he wants to be. This kind of came out of left field. I don't think a lot of people were expecting this to happen, but it did. It did. Chris Cressa, I know you are not that high on Will Ospreay. Actually, I am very high on Will Ospreay. I'm just not high on his little fucking attitude. I'm very high on Will Ospreay. I like he's a great talent, but he's a gymnast. He's more of a gymnast than he is a wrestler, but that's okay. Do you think he's going to be in the tournament? As of right now, he's not. As of right now, he has not been announced. There's only 2 spots that have not been announced. I just went through all the names, and we will see what those last 2 names are going to be. I do expect one of them to be Zack Sabre Jr. I don't see why not have him in this tournament. Doesn't make sense to me not to. He's one of the biggest names in the UK. Why not make sure that he's there? We'll see what they decide to do. I love the idea. I would have loved for William Regal to be calling this alongside, William Regal and Nigel McGuinness. That'd be a hell of an announce team. But they're going to go Michael Cole, and I get that. It's kind of cool. Adam Denford, Noam Dar. Yeah, Noam Dar. It would have made sense too. There's a lot of guys. But I think they're going for people who we're not already super familiar with. You know, they had all the competitors on the stage. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's a good idea that they are going with people that maybe a lot of American consumers don't know. But at the same time, there's a risk with that because of the names I just read out. A lot of people who are not based in the UK are probably going, who? I've never heard of these guys. Why the fuck should I care? And that's a concern. That's a concern when you go with names that are not known globally or by the American market, which, let's face it, is still a big bulk of the WWE Network's demographic. You take the risk of not getting a lot of people to subscribe and watch the event. Is it possible that's going to happen? Sure. Sure, it is very possible. But we're not going to know until the actual thing happens. If they continue to promote this properly, I think it's not going to matter. I think it's going to be very good. Adam Denford, how about Neville, since they are doing nothing with him on the main brand? There are so many like I'm saying, it doesn't seem like they're really pulling anybody from the main roster to be in this tournament. I think they certainly could do it. It's not a bad move at all. And as the GT Cobra says, I think all this is WWE stepping up to UK developmental. Yeah, absolutely. Abso-friggin-lutely. I mean, that's the whole point of bringing in guys that maybe not. Look, these guys are pulled from the independent scene. So it is kind of a developmental situation. And I don't think it's a bad idea at all. The title, as you guys can see, I think is awesome. I think the fact that it has the exact same shape and everything as the WWE Championship is a very smart idea. It's going to give it a nice identity. I love that it's not just another border with W on it. I like that it has that. It looks English, it looks very UK. It looks very regal. It looks like something that a UK champion would be wearing. I like this. I think it's very, very smart. They didn't go over gaudy with it in like a WW, like as far as WW type situation. You know what I mean? Like they've been doing with so many titles. I think this was a good idea. I'm really looking forward to this tournament. I think if you're just a fan of wrestling, just like the CWC, where there wasn't stories pre-built in, but the stories were told over the course of the tournament, I feel like this is going to be even bigger than that because it's over a 2-day period. It's going to be live. It's going to feel like a hungry, gritty tournament. I really do enjoy it. I think it's going to be a smart idea. Chris Cressa, I just don't get why they aren't putting Neville back on NXT or 205 Live since fans proud and don't just make it a low card title. I don't know, man. I don't know why they don't put Neville anywhere. I have no idea. I have no idea. I really don't. I'm not exactly sure why they're not going to put him on there. But maybe he's not 100%. Who knows? The GT Cobra says, it's pretty good. I just hope they go the right way with it and make the UK fans proud and don't make it a low card title. Well, here's the thing on that. It's interesting when you think about that, because if this is anywhere near handled the same way as, let's say, the 205ers, they got their own show out of this. I think the Cruiserweight Championship is starting to mean something, and it's starting to gain momentum. I think this title can instantly be the same. It just depends on how it's going to be defended. Is this going to be something that gets carried around, from Raw to SmackDown? Is it going to be brand exclusive? Is it going to be only defended in the UK? What are they going to do? That's the biggest question that has yet to be answered, and we'll see what they do. It's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to this and see where it goes. Well, we will see. Adam Denford, this tournament should be in the UK. If it's not, of course it is. I already read you the information. Yes, come on, open your goddamn ears one more time. The 14th and 15th at the Empress Ballroom. Empress Ballroom in Blackpool. That's where the tournament will be, over the 14th and 15th, 2-day 16-man tournament. 16-man tournament. It's gonna be lit, baby. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I think it's a really good idea to rejuvenate WWE's footprint in the UK. So that's all the information I have on it. So let's open it up to you guys and see what you have to, see what you have to say on this WWE announcement. Let me know on Skype, David Vancura, DavidVancura, or the number 702-751-2902. Would love to hear from you guys. Now's the time to call in and get your voice heard. Tell me what you think of this big announcement by the WWE. And that wasn't hyperbole or me being a dick. I do think this is a big announcement. I think it's a smart idea. Do I think that every continent or every country or whatever should get their own title? No. But UK is special. UK is different. Like I said at the beginning of the show, some of the best independent promotions in the world are in the UK. Plain and simple. The style may not be for everybody. However, a lot of people that are coming over to WWE via 205 Live, or guys that have come and gone, Finn Balor, Sheamus, even William Regal, all these guys that have originated from the UK, the talent is just nonstop. Wade Barrett, Fit Finlay, all these guys just keep on coming. It's non-friggin' stop. And it's a lot of fun to watch. Is the style for everybody? No. But they have such a different vibe. I mean, look what Jack Gallagher is doing right now. Jack Gallagher is different than anything else in WWE at this moment. Anything else. And I think it's a really, really cool thing to see him work and see him connect with the audience, man. It's a lot of fun, and he's going to be a huge, huge, huge star. It's just an absolute blast to watch him do. And I think we're going to see a lot of unique personalities because of this tournament. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you've yet to do so. I want to hear from you guys now on Skype. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA, or of course the number 702-751-2902. And if not, I'm going to get the hell up out of here. Adam Denford, could the winner one day be the first English WWE champion? Sure. It could. Why not? I mean, hell, they're going. We have Canadian champion. Finn Balor was the WWE champion. It's going that way. We're going to get a straight up English champion eventually. It's going to happen. Just a matter of time. That right guy needs to come in. And this could be a way of kind of making that bed. Finding a guy that resonates with an audience and maybe doing that tournament style over 2 days in a live format. It's kind of a good way to gauge who's the hottest guy coming out of that tournament. And maybe that guy explodes onto the main roster and we do see something like that. I think it's very possible. Very, very possible. Adam Denford, wrestling in the UK has exploded recently. Absolutely. I think that's very fair. It's going through a resurgence. I think that's very fair to say. There's a big resurgence in wrestling in the UK, and it's spilling over. I mean, look, while the independent circuits and stuff like that have waned over time, from some of its heydays in the 80s and 90s and such, there was some times where it kind of went back a little bit. The talent never stopped coming over. Top talent continues to be built there because of some of the great trainers that have continued to stick around and make sure to keep wrestling relevant in the UK. I mean, I don't think William Regal will ever get enough credit for the things that he has done to make wrestling is what it is in the UK, or at least the WWE brand. It's going to be interesting to see if the WWE is able to recapture some of the popularity that they have lost in the UK over the last few years. I mean, look, I'm going to say something. You're not going to like this, UK fans, but I believe a lot of the wrestling audience in the UK are wrestling hipster audience. It's a little quirky. It's a little quirky. Quirky. Come on, governor. A little quirky. And I'm not sure what the reaction's going to be to this in the UK. I mean, some people seem to be happy about it. Some people seem to be a little hesitant because, the WWE is bad. That's what I mean by the hipster thing. People are rebelling against the WWE brand, the ideology, because they're the corporation. They're not the independents, and only independents are good wrestling anymore for some fucking reason among the hipster community. Drives me crazy because it's simply not true. There is no one way to do wrestling. Look, some people are going to be very much entertained by the current brand that WWE has right now. Say what you want, but based off of all of the things that WWE is currently offering, be it the WWE main roster stuff with Raw and SmackDown, or how about the CWC, NXT, 205 Live, all that stuff. There's just so much variety. You're going to find something you like within WWE, and that is now even more true with the inclusion of this UK brand, if it's going to indeed go that way. And considering it's being headed, or at least the face of it is Triple H, and everything else that he puts his face on he seems to try to make a brand out of. There's no reason to think that it's going to happen. So this is my last time I'm going to be asking for calls. If you ask for calls more than 3 times during the show and you don't get any, you're a goddamn loser. So this is the last time I'm going to ask for calls, and if I don't get any after this ask, I'm going to get the hell up out of here. On Skype, David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA, or, of course, the number 702-751-2902. This is your last chance for romance, kids. If you want to sound off on the WWE's new United Kingdom Championship, now's the time. Now is the time. If not, I'm going to get up out of here. I'm going to see what else is going on Twitter, if there's anything else that have been released. I want to know. I want to know what else is happening with this. Because, some news is definitely going to be limited. But we will get more information as time goes on, like as far as how the title is going to be defended and all things like that. But right now, just getting the tournament in there is the most important thing. So we'll see. Now Wrestling Inc. is finally getting on the ball here. Let's see what they are reporting. Out of Historic, it's basically the exact, it's the exact same thing. Son of a bitch. It's the exact same friggin' thing. Okay, widely considered to be one of the greatest competitors. Yeah, Nigel McGuinness. Talking about Nigel McGuinness, which is true. Injuries brought an early end to McGuinness's career. Yeah, that's true. Outside of his in-ring physicality, he possessed a great intelligence and ring acumen. Yes, they're putting over Nigel McGuinness, as they should. He's a great personality. He was a good wrestler, too. Very good wrestler. So we'll see what he does in the announce booth there with Mako Cole. But I was hoping that they would have a more comprehensive list. Maybe those last two names of who's going to be in the tournament. So we shall see. JCM Donovan, do you think that the new show would be portrayed as a WWE show or an indie show like WCPW? No, it's not. It's going to be a WWE brand. It is going to be a WWE brand. There's no question about that. So we'll see. Adam Denford, would be cool if they would allow the title to be defended on the independent circuit in the UK. I guess that kind of goes into the JCM Donovan thing. Yeah, I think they could do that if they wanted to. I don't know if they will. I think every time that we're going to see it defended, it's going to be on the WWE network, and which I think that they can go a little bit more aggressive with this if they want to. So there's a lot of different ways that they can do it. They could just show highlights from shows. As long as they have a WWE camera or something filming when a WWE UK champion does walk into an independent arena, as long as they're filming that, I don't see that there's a problem. The only problem with them filming it is how are they going to pay out the guy, whoever the champion is facing. There's just too many logistical and financial burdens to undertake with that. But it is certainly an interesting concept to see if they would do something that aggressive or risque or whatever, or so against what the norm is. And considering what they did with the CWC, bringing in uncontracted performers into the tournament, and what they're doing with some of the new contracts and such, there's a very good possibility of something like that in the near future. We will see. Yeah, as Adam Denford in the chat says, they're on good terms with ICW. Yes. But they're also on good terms with, where Gargano and Ciampa were at, and not that long ago. They're doing a talent exchange with them. I think Evolve. They're on good terms with Evolve, but they're not showing matches from Evolve when WWE performers go over there. So, because there is a lot of difficulties financially in doing that. So, we'll see. I guess nobody wants to call in and talk about this subject too, so I'm going to get up out of here. I think I've hit all the points. There's really no point in continuing to huff and puff and wheeze here. There's no point in that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys are going to watch this tournament and get into it, because any type of expansion into other territories, whether it be WWE or other, I think it's only good for the global identity of wrestling. And I think because of how the entire industry is, we need growth. We need more superstars. Wherever we can find the next big superstar, that's where WWE, wrestling, whatever, needs to go. They need to find these guys, because the industry's in trouble. The industry's in trouble, plain and simple. I do see a trend because of the talent starting to go, change, and, lack of a better term, evolve. It's going to be interesting. Well, there you have it. Thank you guys very much for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. I hope you enjoyed this very special live edition of Wrestling Reportedly. And only time is going to tell and see how well this works. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 4,200 subscribers. We've been having some killer shows. I didn't give myself fucking alcohol poisoning last night. That's good. That's a good thing. We're going to be live tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Nerd and the Jerk Live. We're going to be regaling you all with the worst stories of the holiday and Christmas season. Jake Link's going to be here. Aeon is going to be making her debut as your movie review and television review extraordinaire, the guru that is Aeon. So make sure you're here for all of that. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends like all those crazy mofos on my featured channels list. Grand Slam 87, Tommy C's SFTP, Real Talk, The Metaphor Messiah, and all of that good stuff. And we will see you next time. Like, subscribe, and share. We're going to go out on the aforementioned Real Talk, The Metaphor Messiah, and a promo made by the one and only Hound. Hit that like button. Keep it copious. And peace.
Real Talk, The Metaphor Messiah. I guess you could say the summer is over, because Real Talk is starting a musical revolution. With his latest hit Notice Me hitting over 250,000 views, all we can say is that this dude is absolutely unstoppable, shooting one verse after another. I guess we talk on legendary status. You might say he's the second coming of Shakespeare. Just excuse his confidence, but one verse will never be enough for this guy. Follow Real Talk on SoundCloud.com/RealTalk74.